Uh, Dr. Tushar,
Yes, sir.
I hope we can start now. The participant will keep joining.
Sure, sir, sure. Sangeeta, the stage is yours.
Okay, so good afternoon, one and all, and good afternoon, Gulab sir, and thanks for coordinating and getting the students on platform. So I believe yesterday I have given some homework for everyone to how to get started. So a small workshop also we have done showing how to work with 2D mesh, and also along with that certain features related to space claim when and where someone can use it in case of uh, creating your geometry or to edit your existing geometry. So all these things have been already known to you all. So apart from that, what we are going to do today is, like, when we are going for the workshops, I'll first let you know with some explanatory workshop, I mean to say tools where I can show you each and every tool, and after that we'll walk you through the workshop which you will be doing, and you will be like simultaneously I'll be helping you out to get along the steps, because you are doing for the first time and may or may not be aware of the tools when and where it should be used. So I believe this method should work out for all of us. So let's first begin in understanding what is meshing and where we have to get started in working. So yeah, yeah, please confirm if my screen is visible. Yeah. So basically, yesterday we have started in the last that we have started with understanding the fundamentals of meshing, and we have also seen what are the previous procedures that have to be done, and when we move on to meshing. So first was to create your geometry, or you can import it from any other CAD tool. So if you create your geometry, you did not do any cleanup there, but you may have to work on your simplification of your geometry. And when you are importing some geometry, you have to do cleanup along with modifications if in case it is required to make your solution get faster, right? Then next steps comes up is working with the mesh, so which we have already started understanding, like what would be the impact of mesh quality if it is poor. Okay, so first thing end up you will end up having some convergence issues with your meshing, and also you will have an wrong conclusions you will come up. So for all these things to recover, what you have to do, you need to make sure that whatever mesh you are doing, you have a proper quality coming up. And also in case of working with different geometries, when you work, different challenges you get to see, different meshing techniques have to be used, or you can say methods you can have depending on the type of geometry you have. So all that walkthrough method will be taken place today. So first module, core skills, which we have already covered. Then today we are going to work with the meshing methods, and 2D one we have already covered, but in case if someone has not attended in yesterday's session, one small part we can take it, and we can also understand the 2D meshing. Then what are the local controls, what are global controls coming up, and how to deal with the mesh qualities, all these things we are going to discuss. So as I told you, whenever you are trying to open a window for meshing, so first preference should be given to what physics you are going to deal with. Like if you are solving a mechanical problem, you have to consider either you're going with a linear problem, non-linear problem, or something related to CFT or hydrodynamics. Whatever is the physics you are going to deal with, choose that physics preference. Then next comes up, like what are the different methods are involved whenever you talk about meshing. So depending on the geometry, that is either you are dealing with 2D or 3D, different methods are there. Out of that 2D method we have seen, for just we have given a log automatic mesh with a sizing control, and that's it we have seen yesterday, right? So apart from that, we'll also check like how to define different methods in 2D, and what is the best suitable way to get the mesh done, and in case you encountered any issues with that, how to rectify that. Okay, so this is more of dependent on when you're trying to do the workshop, how much you're showing dedication towards your workshop. Like yesterday I have told people, like 4 workshops for you I have given. I requested like one on
Yeah,
one, at least one person should
ma-
project.
yeah, ma'am. There is.
Yes,
Can you please start recording? There is a
sure,
request also from the participant.
sure.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so today also when we are going for the workshop, it will be always requested that one of the student should project that screen when they are doing the workshop. See, it is no point of doing, keep on me saying all the time until and unless you work on it, right? So I request everyone today, at least when we are going to do, one student should project their screen and show whatever entirely they have done it. Okay, and then when you are getting stuck up, wherever you're getting stuck up, just project your screen and we will check over those. Because today, if you don't work out, tomorrow I'm sure definitely you'll not find time for it to work. So, coming to the 3D part. So, based on your different types of like geometry, when you look at it, so looking at that, you can define like what kind of element should get accommodated. Either it could be tet or it could be hex. Okay, so based on that we have to decide what kind of geometry we need to mesh with element, what element we have to basically use. So let's suppose when I'm importing my geometry, I'll just go for an automated kind of mesh, so that I can get an idea that yes, this method when I'm using it, automated method when I use, I'll get an understanding of component which is capable of going with either hex or tet. Apart from that, there are different other elements will also get accommodated, like tetrahedral as you have, you can also have pyramidal into that, prismatic or hexahedral, depending, it's all upon the capturing the complete component, what elements can best fit there, right? So that is there. Next you have tetrahedrons, as I told you. In that you have two methods, one is patch conforming and the other one is patch independent. Now when you talk about meshing any geometry, first requirement is that you do have a clean geometry. Clean geometry in a sense, uh, you can say that if some round features are existing at the corners of your geometry, so if it is not going to play an important role, just remove them. Or you can say clean geometry in a sense, when you import your geometry, there are certain feature loss, those things you have to cover. And also you can consider that there are too many split of surfaces taking place, so if those you make it as a like smooth single surface conversion of single surface or anything, no, what will happen, it will give mesh, you will be able to get an uniform mesh over it. If too many surface splits are there, then definitely there is going to be a lot of headache in terms of getting the quality. So always recommended that you need to have a clean geometry. Okay, so let's talk about what is patch confirming and what is patch independent. Okay, so first let me tell you the algorithm, how it exactly works. In case of patch confirming, first your edges are going to be meshed, then it comes to the surface, then it meshes the volume. So out of this, what can you understand, that better meshing can be done at your edges, since the first preference is given there, right? So patch conforming method is basically suitable whenever you have sharp corners or edges, intricate edges and all, somewhere if you find too many edges coming up, in that cases you can prefer to have patch conforming method. Then next we have patch independent method. So basically when we talk about patch independent method, no, we have one criteria that where most of the time when you try to work on your meshing of your geometry, when you'll go to your workshop, you will have a better idea that first it will try to measure complete volume. then it comes to the surface, and then it comes to the edges. So that's why you find that there is no mesh mapping properly taking place at the surface and at the edges. So there how you have to give certain controls to look after and get a proper mesh generated, like you can give proximity and curvature on, so that if too many edges are near to each other, so a good equality elements fit into that. And curvatures, wherever you have cylindrical surfaces existing, their mapping will be proper, and certain angles you can set to set the elements. Okay, so you will understand it further. Next, for hex
Uh,
elements, when you talk.
Actually, ma'am, yeah.
Yeah.
So when I say when we have an intricate geometry,
Yeah.
which way of doing the meshing would be better? It would be
See, intricate meshing, when we say, it's all upon, like, if your geometry has got too many holes and all, then definitely you have to switch to patch independent methods. Okay, and when you have sharp edges, basically when I say, you can switch to patch conforming, because these are the best suited methods. And out of that, if we look at the surface map, surface, how smooth it is or how intricate it is, depending on like both the methods, we have to try and we have to implement it in that case.
okay. Okay, so can we have both type of meshing in the same geometry?
See, we can have different method for assembly, but for single component we cannot give two methods. Okay,
Oh,
so you can control it, like whenever your method is if you give two methods for a single geometry, then it may not be able to take properly and it will show you some error. So that's how, like, even if you are going with patch confirming method, and you say you do have some cylindrical sharp edges are there, if sharp edges are there, then definitely you have to go with the patch confirming method. But along with that, if you have some cylindrical holes and all coming up, then in that case you can go with face mapping, and you can define some sizing control for that surface as a local control there to get patch confirming only, but all the features are coming up as you want.
okay.
So
Okay,
I
thank
hope
you.
I'm clear.
Yeah, yeah, thank
Yeah.
you.
Then next comes up, like, in case of dealing with hex elements. So basically for hex there are three methods. One is your hex dominant, where your hexahedral elements, maximum, like you can say majority of your elements are going to be hexahedral, depending, always depending on your geometry. Then next you have multi-zone, and then you have sweep. Okay, so these two methods also accommodate hex elements. But the difference comes up here is when you have some uniform cross section, okay, throughout your geometry, or you can say if very small cross section change it is there in your geometry, there it won't give you the sweep. Or you can simply ask the software to show what are the bodies which can be worked with sweep method. So it will show you that yes, these objects can go with sweep. And when you are generating a mesh with a sweep, you will get that you are getting in a good quality. So it's always like best practice, I could say. Whenever you import assembly, just try to check first for whatever are the sweepable geometries, so that half of your tension is getting rid, like yes, I don't have to work on the this components. Okay, then next comes up is your multi zone. Here also most of the elements are going to be hexahedral elements, but the difference comes up here is, like, sweep, we have understood it gives you good elements, right? So uh, multi-zone works out in such a way, wherever it can split, it will consider the geometry to be split into two or more, depending on the cross section, how from where to where it is varying. And then it will try to add sweep method, and rest all places wherever it is not uniformity existing, there it will try to add hex elements directly, hexahedral elements directly, or it will try to mesh it with hex dominant method, you can say. So basically multi zone is the combination of your hex dominant and sweep method. So let's go out with understanding this. Once we are done with the workshop, we'll try to come up with a conclusion, so like when and where we can use. Okay, so you have We'll open our workbench and take a new screen. Okay, so just for showing you, let me take one good geometry which will give you an proper idea of working with any kind of geometry. So in order to open this geometry, you have to go to File and you say Open, and wherever will be the location of your file, from there you can take it. So I'll be sharing you very soon this geometry. Okay, so the file that I'm opening, it's a BPJF format. Okay, and for you BPZ, I'm going to share it. So what is the major difference with that? So when you say save, it's going to save your complete file with temporary different folders it will create. So there are, when you are trying to share one of your WBPJ file with someone, the supporting files will not be there available. So to share, just go with archive. Okay, and when you say archive, you have to click on save. And you need to say what all things you want to save it in that. So archive. Okay, so and then when you save it, you can go back to the locations and you can see WBP JZ file is available. And when you say just to save, it will be WBP J file. So that means support files will be in different folders and you have to struggle finding it. So make sure whenever you are saving some work, it is WBP Z format, and all the supportive things will come up in the single folder. Okay, and to open that file, it's simple, same process, file and open from the location. And let's open our meshing window from here. Okay, so now when you look at this geometry, okay, so this is my fresh geometry without giving any control, without doing anything, just for I'm making you understand what are the different methods that are coming up. Let me first take the sweep method, as I told you, that you can go and ask for show sweepable bodies. So to go there, go to mesh, show and sweepable bodies. So half of your almost whatever are the sweepable components available here, those will get selected into this. Okay, so now you know this selected geometries can go with the sweep method, and you can directly go insert and say method. So all these selections are directly applied. I hope I am clear. Go to mesh and first say to show what are the sweepable bodies, and then go to mesh, insert and method, and all these selections are already applied to you. So when you say by default automatic method is considered, and under the definition of your mesh methods, you just have to change it from automatic to sweep. Okay, and say update or generate from here. So basically you can do or give options like selecting all the geometries, one methods you define to each component, and at once you can mesh, or one by one you can mesh, no issues with that. So now all these components that we have seen are meshed properly, right? So we will do one thing, we'll just hide all these components so that we have idea these things are already meshed. Surface selection, body selection, any of these you can select and you can mesh it. But always make sure that whenever you are meshing your geometry, you should avoid having single element. And then say hide body. Okay, so only these components are left out for me to work with. right? So next, let's say to understand what are the different methods coming up, we have to see that yes, this object, if you look at it, it has not come under your sweep method, although there is a uniform cross section going on, right? So let me just show you this. Just go to your display and you can try to explode your geometry. Okay. And when you say to explode, you can see there is a very small detailing. So if this kind of detailing comes up, sweep method does not apply to those. And if it is not a very small detailing, no, it will definitely work out. But this is a really minute detailing coming up, so it has not detected, I could say. Okay. So then next comes up like defining methods to other components and say insert and method. Now you have seen that these two components are capable of going with tet method. So when you just click on this, you are able to see tet elements are accommodated, right? So we'll select these two components and click and apply. So when you say click and apply, change your method from automated to tetrahedron. Okay. And uh, let it be by default. First go try with patch confirming, because you can see there are some corners existing and detailings are also needed. So if these detailings have to be captured properly, then we might have to use patch independent method. But let's see the method how it goes with for this component for patch confirming. Okay, so now when you say this, there is no difference you find in this meshing, because by default when we have meshed was the tet method itself, right? So let's go and check with the quality. Okay, we'll do that later. So I'll just do one thing. One of these I have meshed with the patch confirming, and the bearing what you have here, we'll try to mesh it using patch independent method, because this bearing when you look at it, it has got holes and all existing, so that I can show you how exactly it works. Mesh insert and method, change it to tetrahedral, and from patch confirming change it to patch independent. So when you say patch independent, it will ask you to specify what would be the minimum element size you want to have. Okay, so that means like uh, in patch independent, when I said, it is more of capturing your in a complete volume, as I said. And also when you keep proximity and curvature on, it will ask you to define this some minimum size element. And when you say no, the this minimum refinement, what it is asking minimum element size, it's not asking. So since we have holes, we need to keep this proximity and curvature on. So proximity is basically if you have edges and too many edges near to each other, then you can use proximity. And for curvatures, your wherever curves are existing, curvatures have to be kept on. And let me say I make it as a 1 as the element size, minimum element size I give it, and then say to generate. Okay, so now you get to see here that it is trying to, this is the way, like by default when you are meshing with patch confirming, how exactly it meshes. And when you mesh with your patch independent, it meshes in such a way, right? So you can see the curvature capturing here. But in case you want more refined capturing, then near to that curvatures you can keep feature angle reduced, like something like 10 or 9 you can keep. And near to your what do you say, minimum element size, what you have 1 mm, just reduce it further. But the bad thing about using patch independent is it will try to fit small elements everywhere, so that it will increase your number of element counts drastically here. So let's say I make it zero point 0.5 and say generate. So you will be able to see the difference here itself, like not only here, everywhere it creates a lot of elements in the component. So just let me know. Meanwhile, I'm trying to upload some files which you can use it for working. Okay, so now you look at here, you can see there is a change in these portions. When you set point 0.5, so near to your edges and all, it has added so many elements, right? So whenever if it is required in terms of working with the proximity and curvatures itself, you try to go with the patch independent. Other than that, you can go directly with patch confirming, where you don't get a lot of elements accommodated. Okay, so then next you have is insert and method I'll do for this shaft. Okay, so for this shaft you can say it is also capable of going with the tet elements. So we have to change it with the tet only, or we can try with the hex so that you get to have an idea here, and say update. So you can see here mesh it has created with the hex also. But the most important thing is to see if the detailings have been captured properly. So for that, let's go and see here. So here you can see the detailings are not so good, but we can do one thing. We can try giving size control and we can try for getting it done, or near to that edges. If we are interested in getting the result, we can give surface, we can give element sizing to that surfaces, three surfaces here, and try to get it done. But all these things, as I told you, I'm just showing you how to work with your different method. So right now not checking with the quality, but yes, when we are understand when you got to understand how this meshing methods works out, we will try to show you how to work in case of using quality, right? So we have used here hex dominant method, and next we are left out to use this multi-zone method, right? So we have just these components are left out with us. So let's try with this. Okay, so right click and I'll create a name selection for this. Okay, so all four are selected here. Then let me say, it's up to you if you want to manually select, or any, if you don't want to use it by all the time selecting. I'll change it to name selection and go with bolt and nut. So all eight are selected here, and then I'll try to assign some multi-zone here and say to generate. Okay, so now if you look at this geometry, you are able to see that with multi-zone, quite okay kind of thing, your mesh is generated here. But only thing is, if you want more in detail to be happened here, you can keep free mesh type to be allowed with using tet or pyramid. And later you can do one more thing, that is give a sizing control here, so that whatever are your very big elements getting added up, you can directly get them here. So by default it's taking 5 mm. Let's say I make it as 3 mm here, and say generate. Okay, so not much difference here you could see, because almost everywhere it's same consideration with 5 and 3 here it's taking. So let me make it with 1. This is very simple geometry. So even for this, when you're trying to mesh with the sizing control directly, you will be able to get a good quality of mesh. So you don't have to define methods and all. But still, to give you an understanding within single geometry, that where all it you can use different methods here. We have seen here sweep method, patch confirming, patch independent, hex dominant. All these methods we have seen. So let us understand like. If we get onto a workshop, I'll give you one component dot stp, and then I'll show you step by step procedure how to work with the different methods there, um, in the second. I mean, like, sir, can we have the session at the same time? Workshop session continuous one method. Like I have done with explaining students the method, so they can go for workshop. Will that work out, sir?
Can you come again, ma'am?
I'm saying like since I have done explaining the different methods, I would like to students have the workshop with me, so that at one point whatever they have learned they will finish that workshop.
Yeah, that would be better. Like, you share the model with them, and you will be doing it step by step, and they will be
Yes,
doing
yes,
it.
I'll be doing
Yeah,
step by step with them.
yeah,
So
that would be better. Yeah, sure.
yeah, just to give me 2 minutes of time, and same location where I have shared you the file location, you will get your file.
Yeah, the checkbox, right?
Yeah, same
Yeah.
location yesterday what I have shared.
Okay. Uh, Means they have to go back to the same link.
Yeah, I'm just adding as of now. It won't take more than a minute for me.
Okay. In the meanwhile, if any of the participant has any query, you can ask to the madam.
Yeah, please go to the link where I have provided SCDM and meshing. There I have added a component .stp file. Component.stp file.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, participant, please let us know if you can access that.
In case you need the link, I'll just drop it once again.
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay, so here is your link. Go there and just open your component.stp file. Okay, and once you are downloaded, go to import file and browse, and then take component.stp. Then go to mesh and double click to open your meshing window. Let me know if you are done till here in the chat box, and I expect response from each and everyone whoever is doing the workshop. Right? So this is the component that you have imported. So this is a single component. Guys, let me know if you are working on it.
Yeah, participant, please respond so that madam should be aware that you are on the same page.
Hello.
Yes.
And we have to directly import it or we have to select first analysis system.
Okay. So the thing is, first you take mesh from component, go to geometry and import your component .stp file, and then double click on mesh. Yeah, done. Great. So we'll proceed next. Okay, so as you can see, first this geometry, I'll you have to do first one important one thing, that is try each and every method for single component. Let's say I'll go with insert and sorry, go with mesh and ask for sweepable bodies. So it is not showing sweepable bodies, single component it is, and there is no uniform cross section going. So sweep cannot be handled here. Then go with mesh, insert and method. Mesh insert method and go with body selection. Select your component, and in your bottom side you can see the details of your mesh method, right? Details of automated method. Then click on this geometry, and next you need to change this from automated to tetrahedron, and from that patch confirming. So first we are going to check with patch confirming. Right, and just say generate. Once done, I want whenever I say whenever I say anyone's name from the list, they have to project their screen and show me their screen. Okay, so this is your mesh that is generated with your patch confirming. I hope this is clear. Till here, is it done? Yeah. Is it done?
Yeah, participant, please respond so that madam should move ahead.
Yes, yes,
Uh,
no.
yeah, madam, I hope they have done it. Is it is there any query?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Sunil wants me to wait for 2 more minutes.
Yeah, sure, sure. We can wait.
Do we have Harsh Shukla? Please share your screen. I think students either they are doing or they are not doing. I'm not able to understand here.
Hello.
Yes, Harsh. Can you please share
Hello.
your screen?
Yes, ma'am. I will share the screen, but while I am opening, it is saying it is not a valid ANSYS file.
Okay, please share your screen. I might help you out with that. Okay. Yeah, please share once again. Yes, Harsh. Okay. So go to your components, not from there. This is an STP file. So this is an CAD file, right? So go to mesh. From your components tool, you can take mesh. Scroll, from bottom, you can see component system, right? Scroll down,
Yes.
scroll down. Yeah. Or just take any of the analysis system. Take a static structural from top. That's also fine. Just below you have mesh. Click on that, double click.
Which one,
Okay.
ma'am?
Okay. Let me show you where you have from my screen. See, you have component system here, right? So from there, just scroll down and you have mesh. Double click here. Got it?
Okay.
Yeah. Now, can you please reshare? Yeah, please reshare your screen and do it. Yeah. Now import geometry. Near geometry, you have a question mark. Right click. Right click. Import geometry.
It's not responding.
Okay. Just wait for a while. Okay. You have started your space claim by double clicking there. So let it start first and then you can close it. Okay. Meanwhile, do we have Aditya Singh? Yes, please share your screen. Harsh, once your space claim opens, close it and right. You can see here import geometry, right? So there you can click and
Yes,
import.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay,
Aditya Singh,
okay,
please
ma'am.
share your screen.
Harsh, close this window. Yes. Now right click onto the geometry.
Yes, Aditya, please show me your meshing window. Okay, so is it a student version or which one? Student version. So basically you have to clear your temp files and first you need to uninstall, clear your temp files and again reinstall, then you will be able to work here. There is some problem with the installation for you. Okay, so Harsh, did you finish doing patch confirming method?
Ma'am, I think my system is little bit slow. It is not responding again.
Okay, no problem. Anyone else who has finished patch confirming one, please share your screen. Yeah, I think Alok is able to do it. Yeah, please show me your mesh. Yeah, okay, great. Uh, so Alok, can you show me how to switch to patch independent method? Yeah, you if you want, you can speak out. We all can hear you. Um, okay, I think Alok has some issue with the audio, so no problem. Yeah, so basically you can go to your method and change from patch confirming to patch independent. Yeah, and you can, uh, Alok, can you do and show patch independent method? Okay, just I'll share my screen and let you know how to change your method from patch confirming to patch independent. Okay, so basically till here you have seen that using your patch confirming method, you are able to mesh like this kind, somewhat like this. You are able to generate your mesh. I know this is not an idle mesh, but yes, to know how to change different methods and what kind of meshing is going to be generated using your different methods. I'm just taking here. So basically, whenever you have, okay, so this is your meshing using your patch confirming method. Now, when you switch this one from patch confirming to patch independent, there you are going to see a difference. That is, if you have proximity and curvature. So, as I told you, if you have edges which are close to each other, in that case, to have a better quality of meshing, you can make use of proximity. Only proximity you can make use, and in case you have curvatures available, you can make use of with proximity and curvature both, or each you can use it. But since you don't have any of these things, you don't want to use, just make it as no. Okay, so refinement method, you're switching it to no, and just try to generate your mesh. Okay, so using your patch independent method, you are able to generate a mesh something like this. So basically, wherever your surfaces and all are existing, it has ignored everything and just a random mesh it has created. So that's the difference with working with your patch independent or patch confirming method, you can basically say, right? So I want someone from the audience to do and show me patch independent method so that others can follow. Okay. Do we have Krishan Kant Sharma? Please share your screen. You can share your screen and do and show us. Okay. Okay. Sunil, can you project your screen and show me what you have done? Okay. Okay. So now you change refinement to yes. Let it be like only proximity. Okay. And then try to give some minimum element size. It's your choice. Give a minimum element size and mesh it. You need to generate the mesh. Okay. Okay, so basically, can you see the difference? Like whenever we said here to go just with the proximity, it is not taking up because that feature function is not ready here. Okay, so now do one thing, change it both from proximity, just from proximity to proximity and curvature in the refinement. It's a kind of local control that you're going to give it during defining your method. Okay, both you give it and try to solve it. Yeah, that's fine. Just go and say generate. Okay, so that means you can see here there are not the edges are close and you don't have curvature, so it's not going to work out for you, right? Just you can go with the like without refinement, just patch confirming method you can define it, right? So
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, do we have Manu Maheshwari? Please share your screen. Manu Maheshwari. Okay. Shashiraj. Okay. Do we have Dhruv Saxena and Anurag Singh, Abhinandan, Rahul? No one? Okay. Okay. Abhinandan, please project your screen. Just whatever you are doing, just show me so that I'm aware of like you are doing. Abhinandan, are you projecting your screen? Yeah, great. Yeah. Just change this patch independent method to uh, like any hex method you can use it. Okay. Yeah. Try to mesh it. Allow access. Yeah. Just generate the mesh. Okay. Great. Fine. So okay, so now since everyone know how to open your file, I'm going to share my screen and show you how to work with sweep method and few more things which we can incorporate, right? So let me just take, so in the same file location, I have shared a file called as sweep.method.stp file. Sweep method.stp file is there, which you can open, and same procedure, geometry, import and sweep method. Okay, and then open your mesh method.
Uh, Ma'am, one minute.
Y-
Yeah,
Yes,
uh, there is a raise hand. I see. Bhupen is there.
yes,
Is there any?
Bhupendra, please tell me.
That was by mistake, I suppose.
Okay, no problem. If anything is there, just let me know in the chat, or you can unmute yourself and you can speak out. Just open your meshing window and keep it ready. Sweep method.stp is the file name, same location you need to take. Okay, so same geometry when you see. Now, the reason for taking same geometry is to make you understand that if you want to work out using any of the method, just look at this geometry. Okay, and uh, you can see and you can itself tell which component is capable of going with what method. So basically idea is to learn how to use sweep method. You have already seen me doing it with the assembly. So I believe someone can project their screen and show me how to work for the same geometry and mesh it using sweep method. Do we have Anand? Anand, if you are there, please share your screen. Okay, do we have Ravita? Pratiksha? Anyone? Sweetie? Uh, I believe whatever names I'm calling, they are not available. So, Alok, please project your screen.
Yes, ma'am. Is it visible, ma'am?
Yes, it is visible. Please show me how to check for sweepable bodies first. Click
Yes,
on
ma'am.
escape. First, click on escape because already there is a selection.
And that
There
was
is
the
a, yeah,
first we will go in mesh, then show,
okay,
then in sweepable bodies. And the sweepable bodies are in green color.
okay. And
Now
then,
I
yeah, please proceed.
yes, ma'am.
Okay. You're good at explaining. Please explain.
Then we will go in mesh, insert, and method. Then after that we have to select body, which is sweepable.
But I think you have already done with the selection, right? Okay. Manually you are selecting, that also you can do. Use your control and select both the component and click on apply.
Yes.
Okay.
After
Change
that
the
we have
method.
to uh, After that, we have to change the method to sweep.
Okay.
Then,
Okay. So can you click on sweep method?
yes, ma'am.
Yeah. See, scroll down. You have type, right? You can see their type, and under
Yes,
that you have number of divisions,
yes,
right?
yes.
Click on that number of divisions. You will be able to change it from number of divisions it should create, or element size you can give directly. So click on that element size. Either of this you can use it based on your requirement. So now you need to define an element size. Define the element size there.
0.5 will be
Okay.
right now.
Yes, yes, no problem.
Okay.
Go ahead and generate. See, so when you said number of go back to the detailing. Point m 5 meter of element you have
Oh,
selected.
okay.
So
Okay.
what exactly have to be done? You need to change your units first. So in the
Okay.
home section itself, you have units, right?
Unit.
Little towards your
Yes.
right section, units, and change it to if you want it, or you can put a conversion value there.
Okay. Okay.
Fourth one you can use. Sorry, third one, kg Newton,
Okay.
right? Now you specify point 0.5, or if not, use your conversion value. Enter,
Okay.
right? So is it clear how to add a sweep method? There are so many detailed kind of studies required in case of working with sweep when you face any issue in case of generating elements using sweep method. Or else you don't have to worry about different methods, scoping methods like source and target and all extra things are there. Okay. So next, uh, Abhinandan, please share your screen. Okay, great. So just okay, so Abhinandan, one of your surface, you could see small surfaces are there, right? Circles, circular surfaces are there existing, right? Go on to your geometry, click on geometry. No problem. Without mic also we can work. Click on geometry. In your tree structure, you have geometry, right? Click on that. Okay, no problem. Uh, I'll share my screen. Okay, so now basically what you have seen is, so far you have seen what are the different methods of working with each and every all these, right? So let me just take one more geometry and show you what are different depending on your geometry. When it changes, you will have too many different approaches you need to use it. Let this be here itself. So I'll show you few more features with that. Oh, I think, oh, same geometry it is. No problem. Here only I'll try to show you to you. Like let's say I want to generate an automated mesh for my geometry. All three components are different for me, right? So as you have told, now even if I look at my geometry, no, I don't have to create a sweep kind of mesh for this one separately, because the mesh already it is mapped kind of meshing. When I go to quality, and say here to show me the element quality. When I check for my element quality, I will get to know these are my indications, color indications. You can see, right, blue and navy blue. So blue are mostly your poor quality of elements near to this connective regions. There they are having a bit of problem. Other than that, whatever the elements they are created, they are of good quality. So I need not worry, or I need not apply any method to make you show that wherever this kind of geometries, uniform cross section geometries are existing, you can directly assign a sweep method. So how do you do that? Insert, go to mesh, show sweepable bodies. Sweepable bodies are here, and say to update with a method. So when you update with a method, you don't have to do anything here. Just go and say generate mesh. Okay. So with this, sweep method is done. Then next you have small surfaces coming here. So these regions are not getting meshed properly. You look at all these body structures, these are also not getting meshed properly. So what is the possible way? Now tet is the only method that can apply here, so I don't want to add a method. Instead, what I'll do is I'll just go and say mesh, insert and sizing. So for that, I'll select complete component here and say apply. And right now by default 6.3 is the element size. I could go and give 3 of it and just try to generate the mesh. Okay, so when I say generate mesh, I think capturing is quite okay here. I'm able to get good quality of element, right? So this would be my approach. And even as I said you, this sweep method generation is not required. When you look at your simple geometries wherever are there, if by default you are able to get good quality of elements, then why do you have to struggle in case of generating mesh? See, just giving an body sizing to this component was sufficient for me to work on this mesh, right? So please do the same thing for your geometries, and I'll ask to project your screen, so be ready for that. Yeah, once done, please let me know. Yeah, please let me know if you are done. Okay, so once you are done with this, no, for everyone, I have one small exercise that I want method to deal with it. I'll give you 5 minutes to work on that, and everyone should do and show it to me. So the workshop in the same file location, I have shared quick workshop 2.1 AGDB file, right? So just try to open that file, and like you should be able to tell me that yes, you have finished in the chat box, and I'm expecting maximum of them should tell that. Okay, so the workshop name is quick workshop, and it's an AGDB file. So just follow the same procedure to import your geometry. Go to mesh, geometry, and then you have browse. So whichever is your geometry, open it and then start working. Okay, so this is your geometry. I believe by now everyone would have downloaded the geometry, and whatever is the type of mesh you are able to generate for this one, please try to understand the meshing methods, use sizing control, and mesh and show me this simple component. Then we'll get on to some difficult geometry. You have 5 minutes time to start and finish your small workshop. Using same method you need to do and same sizing control you have to give. And after that, we have to discuss few more like workable things. Vijayanti, if you are there, please project your screen and show us how we are doing. Anyone who is working? Saurabh, Shubham.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, Shunim.
Ma'am, I have done with the help of sweep method. Can I show
Okay,
you?
please share.
Okay.
Yeah, can you show us the quality?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, where we have to, I have to click.
Yeah, mesh matrix you have, right? Just go below,
Okay.
last second row. See there you have mesh matrix in quality section. Above
Okay.
inflation. Okay,
Okay.
go and click on element quality.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, and just expand the graph. No, to expand your graph, no, you have to uh, go somewhere here and try to expand this one graph.
By clicking on controls.
No, 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 you don't have to click on any control. Let's say this is my generate mesh. Okay, under my quality mesh matrix, and this is a bar, right? So somewhere here you need to do it like this so that you're able to see your graph. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. But I am unable to do that.
Okay, no problem.
Okay,
Share your
ma'am.
screen.
Ma'am, can you repeat again?
Sure, sure. No problem. See, you have here, right? You can see my cursor, double-sided cursor. See,
Yes, ma'am.
just do it this way, it will work. Okay, if you work with how many of you all have finished working with this one? Any of the method that you have used and you are able to get the satisfied quality, that is fine for me. Please comment in the chat box. I will assume only people who are commenting are working. Others are not available. Okay, so next is I'll just try to open a file here. So only Alok and Sunil has finished. What about others? Vikas, okay. Next. Vikas, please share your screen. If you are done, let me see. Okay, Imran is done. Okay. Imran, please share your screen. Imran, you can share your screen and let us know if you are done. You have joined with mobile. Okay. Okay. So let's move on further. Okay. Let's suppose I'll just close down all these whatever we have worked so far, and now we'll get on into understanding better way how to work. So let me say file, and I'll open a file which is global valve. The same file, I'll share it with you all. Okay, so before itself, I'll share the file with you all so that you all keep it to download. And when I'm showing, you will have to see and then you need to work on it. In same location, I'm sharing a file, global valve. Okay, just Keep it to download, and meanwhile I'll try to work and show to you. Just confirm if my screen is visible. To open your WBPZ file, you need to go File and Open. Okay, and yeah, this is my geometry. Now, basically, to mesh my geometry, let's go with first clearing out whatever mesh is there and go with default. Okay, so this is basically my mesh, and I'll go and say generate a default mesh for this one. So now if you look at this geometry, you just look at the center portion. The mesh is totally different here, right? So let's say we'll go and check with the quality. Now this study is going to be based on your quality criteria, and you can see you have lot of elements coming up here which are of poor quality. So basically you can see here this portion is the most affected one, and even if I check all these other graphs of elements where are the poor quality one, so I could see that mostly this region, and this region are having poor quality of elements, right? So we have to learn the local controls to overcome this kind of problems. So let's say click on geometry, and first one thing you do it, that is, okay, and first I'll just try to group up all the holes here and say right click, create name selection based on size, same similar size wherever it is existing in your entire geometry, it will group them into single one. Okay, and say okay. So when you click on name selection, one selection you have got with same size, that is 18 faces it has selected at once. Okay, all these 18 faces have been selected. Next, same thing, I'll select one of these holes and will say, see, how do we say that the elements are of poor quality? Basically, when we say uh, all the elements, these are 0.38 quality criteria elements, and when we say we have 0.72 average elements coming up, they are good elements. See, these all these elements that are generated, they are of good quality. So now we have to struggle all these from 0.03 to 0.65 elements to get them into good quality from bad quality. So basically, how exactly you say that these are of good quality and these are bad quality? You say you have some element which is 111 as the dimension of 3D element. Okay, and try element you consider. So when it is trying to fit here, not the dimension you consider, they are into 1:1:1 ratio. So if it is deviating from its 1 ratio, it will come under a point 8, point 9, point 7. So all this way it will figure out. So in that condition, you can say here like point 0.5 criteria elements are all these things, then you have point 0.7 criteria elements here. So this is all the sum up of elements. It's showing that yes, these are the poor quality elements and these are good quality elements that are added here. Okay, so we have done that, and next you have, will select all these holes. So one of the hole I have selected, and right click, and I'll say create name selection and say size, and then okay. So based on that, you can see 16 faces are selected here. So the first thing that I can do here is go to mesh and look at first the geometry you look at, and you look at the mesh basically where whatever you're generating here. Okay, so let's say mesh insert and some sizing you want to provide. Change this from name selection, geometry selection to name selection. Scoping is changed, and name you can give first one or second one. So you can select selection 1. Um, okay, so I have given here for face sizing with 0.635 is the default sizing control, and instead I can also give 1 as the element size to all that surfaces. Okay, and say to generate mesh. So now before you have seen to give sizing to your body, same way you can give sizing to your surface you can give, and also you can give it to your edges. Now you see, when we moved on from working on these cylindrical surfaces, no, most of our elements have moved on from poor quality to good quality criteria, right? Similarly, let's do one more thing. Same other holes whatever are existing there also I'll give a sizing control. So this is not, there is no thumb rule actually to work with the meshing. It's always just the best practices you can say, right? And then say generate mesh. You have lot of you have 5 methods and one automatic 6 you have, and then you have so many local controls which you can use. So whenever one of the method fails out, the other method you can use it. So right now you can say this component is capable of going with the sweep method, right? But since I am seeing here mesh generated, nowhere I'm able to see in the poor criteria that yes elements are found here, so I won't work on that. Okay, so still you could see few elements are there, but they are not for the holes. Okay, they are for your bolt and nut connectivity. So what you have to do is you have to work on your bolts and nut, right? So let's say insert and uh, okay, and just say insert, or let's just see first. So you can see here small detailing, right? So these are the regions where the mesh is not able to work out properly, or somewhere here it's not able to create. And last time you have seen how we have meshed a bolt and nut, right? Similar way, just try to ask if there are sweepable bodies, only one is there, you cannot work on it. So next insert, and you have to give a sizing, simple sizing control, work with simple sizing control, and that should work out. So select all these together, or I would suggest go with name selection. Both these you select, right click and say name selection, so that your work is getting reduced. Okay, so now when I gave the name selection once again, 2 is there where all my bolts and nuts are selected here. I don't have to struggle selecting each. Body sizing is not necessary, so I'll just delete this and take insert and sizing control, scoping changed to name selection, and then saying it to second selection. So that is your bolt and nut selection. And you can see here by default 6.35 as it is. So let's just make it something 3 or 2 and say generate. So it's all about getting your quality criteria done. Now, if you look at it, most of your elements that you see are coming under 0.7 to 1 range. So you don't have to work, but you do if you are working on some bolt pretension type of problem, or somewhere you are interested to study about the wherever connections are there. So in that case, you have to create a proper mesh to those regions. So you can make use of either body sizing, or you can give certain surface sizing and try to get a proper kind of mesh generated there, right? Now still you can check out like where are your poor quality of elements existing. So first thing is like this region what you're seeing is still there, and of course the same regions it is selecting. So let's work on this region, how to work selecting this one. So basically you can try and go say sizing control, and you have a selection method where you go with surface selection and say extend. So it will select the surfaces there. So on its own, the surfaces are being selected, and whichever are getting missed out, just select all these. And one more time, if you do, all these surfaces are selected, right? So just click on apply, and or you can do one more thing directly rather than giving face sizing, go for mapping of faces, right? So let's just switch to that. That will be the suitable one to show you, because we have not used the face map meshing, right? So go with face meshing and just select one of the surface. Okay, and check out whichever is left out here. So basically this control is going to be give the mapping to your surface, like elements to be proper. And there are certain advanced setting available, but you don't have to work much on that mostly, and just try to say generate. Now sometimes when you select on your own and give, you may or may not be able to get the mapping there. So you can also ask the software to give you elements where it can go with mappable meshing. Okay, so let's see now. Okay, so as you see here, it has tried adding so many elements and all here, and somewhat you can see the changes, right? So in the graph not much changes, but yes, in the meshing where the mappable things, mappable meshing is there you can find changes. But for you to start with the simulation, this much is sufficient just to show you how to get with the more on global local controls. I'm trying to show this one. So face meshing, you can do it. Okay, so I want till here to someone share your screen and do starting till end to mesh this complete geometry. You don't have to explain, you just have to try different methods. And here not only single student, but 3 4 students, I'll ask them to project and do and show on at the same time. There are more controls which we have to discuss, but till here I think someone should definitely share their screen and show. Yeah, global valve will not support to import. You see the extension, that is WBPZ5, right? So you have to go to file and open. So basically you have to go to file and say open, and select the global valve, open, and it will ask you to save at certain location, and it will say that it's already existing. If you don't have, then it won't come. Okay, just follow the same procedure. You will be able to open the file. Krishnakant, can you please share your screen and show? Yeah, please share your screen. And whatever extra windows are there, please close down that.
It is visible now.
Yes, yes, it's visible. Other meshing files, what you have opened now, please close that.
And now,
Yes, now it's visible. Rahul, Pratiksha, Prashant, please be ready. You have to share the screen next. Rahul, Pratiksha, Prashant, any of you all please share your screen now. Okay, Prashant, I think since you have joined now, after 5 minutes, you can show us what you have done. Do we have Mohit? Rishikesh? Vijay? Okay, I think Krishkant, you can share your screen. Okay, yeah,
Yes, ma'am. Rishikesh ji.
yeah, Rishikesh. Yeah,
Uh,
double click
ma'am,
on
I
model.
got stuck here.
No problem. Double click on model. I think Krishnakant is sharing the screen. Who got stuck? Krishnakant or Rishikesh?
Rishikesh, ma'am.
Yeah, Krishnakant, can you stop sharing the screen for a while?
Actually, ma'am,
Yeah, Rishikesh. Please project your screen.
actually, ma'am, it is taking time.
No problem. Anyone else from the group who has started working, please let me know in the chat. Whoever has started working. Aditya, are you available? Working? Okay, great. Yes, Rishikesh, please tell me where did you get stuck up? Yeah, first thing for automated mesh, you just have to go with uh, complete geometry you can select and you can do it. You don't have to specify automatic.
Okay.
You can delete the method directly generate mesh. Delete that automatic method from tree.
Yes, ma'am.
Click on yes.
Okay. Yes. Yes, ma'am. Mission.
Yes, generate mesh. Okay, so this is your automated mesh. So
Yeah.
please do the name selection procedures how we have to do. Who have
Please,
missed
can
out
you
to
tell?
see how to work with the name selection,
Yes, ma'am.
please
I have
see on
missed
the
out.
screen. Yeah, select one of the whole surface. You can zoom in. You have right mouse button there. You wherever you want to zoom in that region, you go there and drag your uh, right side of your mouse button. Yeah, select the whole surface. You are currently into body selection, okay? So go with the surface selection.
Can you show me from your?
Sure. No problem. Okay, so here you have surface selection. So what basically you have to do is you have to select the surface, right click
Okay.
and say create name selection, right? Project your screen, please.
Actually, ma'am, it is taking time.
No problem. Like to project your screen or to do.
Yes, I will do it, ma'am, and then I will show it.
Okay. Mayank, are you there in the meeting? Mayank, are you there? Okay. Anyone else from the team who is doing the workshop, please let me know.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, Sunil.
Ma'am, I have a doubt.
Yeah, please tell
Can
me.
I share my screen?
Yeah, sure.
My screen is visible, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, how to select that nut bolt part hole for name selection?
Whole. Okay. Just go with the display
Okay.
tab
Okay.
near to your file home. You have display
Okay.
right after mesh. Click on that.
Okay.
Okay, and click on geometry from your tree so that you come out of mesh now.
Okay.
Click on geometry. No, just click on that. Don't expand the tree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now your explode is enabled, right? From right side you see reset under your explode.
Right side.
Yeah, r- right side,
Where,
right
ma'am?
side. Explode. You have section explode, no? You have orient, annotation, style, vertex, edge, and explode. Last. Move your cursor towards last.
Okay.
Yeah, just after that, next left side, you have explode section.
Explore
Yeah,
section.
yeah, explode.
Okay. Okay. Yes.
Let me.
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
above that you have reset, right? Just
Yes, ma'am.
scroll that, move
Okay.
that. You can see a button, right? Okay, just you have display and click on your
Okay.
geometry and reset. Okay,
Okay.
so
Yes,
that you
ma'am.
will be able to select the whole. Done.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. Anyone from girls who is working? Nikita, Pratiksha, no one.
Ma'am, in name selection, how we can select the number of multi homes? Can I
Sorry,
share
I
my
didn't.
screen?
What exactly you mean? I didn't get you. Sorry.
Ma'am, how can we select the
Name
similar board, similar
Okay,
shapes?
using name selection, you mean to say.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So basically, you select one of the whole, okay, and say right click, create name selection. So based on same size or type in the XYZ direction specific, anything you want to do, you can do it. Go to size and say okay. So the selections are done with the same size, right? Is that one or anything else?
Yes, ma'am. Okay, done.
Okay.
okay.
So okay. So there is one uh, attendee with some ID without name. So can you just project your screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Sure.
Ma'am. Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
For network section, we have to select solid, like solid body.
I think you have only done one selection. You haven't selected completely.
Yes, ma'am. I
Just
was the one who asked about that.
okay. That's why I mean, like, can you do that and show now?
Yes, ma'am. I'm trying to do that.
Okay.
Ma'am, please help.
Last third. Right click,
Hmm.
create name selection, and last third.
But I have
Yeah.
already created. I
Size,
have
size.
only,
Give a criteria. Size
ma'am,
you give.
I already created a drilled holes, named with drilled holes. But I
Yes,
just want
yes.
to add that
You
criteria.
have to delete that. You don't have any option to edit that. Just say based on size, give a criteria and
Okay.
say okay. Yeah, click on okay. Now you expand the selection under name selections. You
Mm-hmm.
see 18 faces are selected now, right? In
Yes,
the
ma'am.
detailing, you can see geometry 18 faces, right?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, great. We have only handful of students working. So if anyone who is available other than the one who are sharing their screen, please share your screen now.
Ma'am, how can I refine? How can refine it works?
Okay, share your screen.
Oh.
Okay, so now try to give the sizing control for that. Just go to mesh, insert, sizing, second one, not the third one. You have given contact sizing, I guess. Yeah, sizing.
So,
Yeah, so now you go to scoping method and change geometry selection to name selection. Okay, and give the selection of name, whatever you have given. And
so, and
whatever you have a question mark, right, for sizing, delete that in the tree. For sizing, one question mark. Go to tree.
so,
Under your mesh, you have sizing with question mark. Delete that
so,
and say generate. Uh, yeah, now it's doing. Yeah, so from audience, anyone who hasn't shared the screen so far, I request you to please share your screen.
ma'am,
Yeah,
actually,
can you
I'm
go to the
asking.
face sizing?
So,
Click on that. You need to specify the element size. And if you want, you can change your units, go to home and change your units or directly give the conversion value. Not that. Element size, just below that you have. Yeah, yeah, now generate. Actually, you need to give a sizing control which you have parameterized it. Please remove from P. Click on that P. Okay, let me show it. And then you can show it to me. So basically, go to insert. First go to mesh. insert, and sizing. In that, change it from geometry selection to name selection and give the naming is whatever is your naming. Okay, so let me just give selection, and if you want to modify your units, just go to units from here and make it as metric mm kg newton. Okay, and change it from, just don't click on this p. Okay, it will create a parameter set. So before that, just make changes here like 3 or something or 2 and say to generate. Okay, I hope Krishnakant you have seen. Please share your screen and do it. Let me see where you are stacking up. Okay, so you have seen, right? You change your units, then you'll get an idea first thing. Go to home and change your units.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, now you specify their 0.5. You have element size there, right? Change there. Go to face sizing first in your tree structure, last one. Okay, and then you see your element size 500, right? Change that to 0.5 or 1 or 2, whatever you want to make it, right? And then enter 0.5. That's it.
Actually, it's automatically select 500.
I mean, like you're don't type just give 0.5. Enter
No, so
and generate.
this one, it's done. Yes, ma'am. It's done. Thank you.
Okay, am I audible now? Sorry, I'll just repeat everything. Okay, so first let me show you how to
Ma'am,
create a coordinate. Was someone saying something? Okay, so let's say I'm selecting this structure, this component I'm selecting. Okay, and after selecting, I'm using body selection to select complete component, coordinates, insert, and coordinate system. So a new coordinate is created for this component. Okay, and that name is coordinate 3. And when I'm trying to insert uh, the selection, when I'm trying to give, I can give based on the coordinate as well. So mesh, insert, and sizing. So this is common. You have already known this one. And give body selection, and for instead of type size control, change it to sphere of influence, and specify what should be your center. So basically the coordinate that you have created and the radius, how much it needs to be. So this is the sphere influence radius that it has created. Okay, and now if you want to specify the size, you can make it zero point 0.5. I'll give the size of the element and say to generate mesh. Okay, I'm getting couple of questions here. How to select faces? So here I'm not selecting any face. I'm selecting body to select it. And once this is done, Abhinandan, you can share me your screen so that I can understand what exactly you're looking for. Okay, no problem. Once let this get done, you can share your screen and we can see how to work on that. Okay,
ma'am,
so
can you repeat?
basically, uh, is someone speaking? Please let me know.
Ma'am, can you repeat for how to give coordinate system?
Sure, sure. Actually, it's meshing out right now, so let it finish. Meanwhile, if someone wants to share their screen, they can share it, so I'll guide them up. Yeah, Krishnakant, you can itself share your screen to show how to create coordinate. Meanwhile, it is meshing the geometry. Krishnakant, next, yeah, tell me where you. Okay, so go to first select the geometry for which you want to create the coordinate with body selection. Even in the workspace, you can select directly going to component from assembly. Okay, and yeah, just scroll down the tree, scroll down tree structure. Yeah, click on coordinate system, right click on coordinate system, insert coordinate system, Okay, after this, click on apply. Geometry is there, no? Click to change. Click there. Apply. Just click on that. Apply. You are clicking somewhere else, Abhinandan. So you don't have to change there anything. Geometry selection, apply. Okay, I think my mesh is done. So Krishkant, I'll show you. Please look here.
Okay.
See. So now you can see the mesh that is generated here using the coordinates that we have used. Now you can try and see here if you have poor quality of elements or something. So just wait for a while. It's loading. Okay, so select geometry, click on coordinate, insert coordinate system, and you have here geometry, right? Geometry selection, and then down you have geometry. Apply on this. So your coordinate will be created. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah. Abhinandan, you can share your screen. Abhinandan, please share your screen. Okay. Yeah. Where exactly you want to do the selection? Okay. Multiple face selection there. Right. Just uh, get back to the workbench. Okay. Go to selection from tab home geometry display, and then you have selection. No, go there. Go to selection and adjacent. Click on that adjacent so that next surfaces will get selected. Okay. And click wherever you want to apply that. Click apply there. For your sizing you want to give, right? So go to sizing. No problem, Abhinandan. I'll just show it to you how to do it. Look at the screen here. I'm trying to show it to you. So basically you have to go to selection, any of the surface you select, and say adjacent. Okay, and go to mesh, right click, insert, and sizing. So there you can give whatever sizing you want to give, and then solve. So that's how the procedure to give it. Yeah. Can someone show how after creation of coordinate how to measure geometry? Please share your screen and do it. Person with numbering, not with the name. Please share your screen.
Ma'am, hello.
Yes.
Ma'am, I have done up to this point. Coordinate system I have applied, but how to select that sphere?
Okay, first thing, you need to expand so that you'll have a proper view. Adjust your view. Yes. Just drag it right side. Yeah, great. Then go to sizing. You have a question mark for your sizing, right? Go
Yes, ma'am.
there and change from select your geometry. Body selection. But no, not there. Yeah. Select geometry and click on a no selection. In the detailed view of sizing, you have no selection, no? For geometry, click there and apply.
Where, ma'am?
Right side you have na details of sizing, scoping method, geometry selection. Then below that you have geometry and no selection. Click on that. Okay, let me show it on my screen. Okay, so go to mesh, say insert and sizing, and then select your geometry and say apply. Okay, so till here procedure is same. Now you need to only change from element size to sphere of influence. Okay, and then specify the center. So whatever coordinate you have created or renamed it, use that and give a radius. Okay, radius of sphere that it should consider and element size you want to have. Is it done? Please do that. Yeah, please reshare your screen.
Yes, ma'am. Here, ma'am.
First you select your geometry and apply. Yeah, no selection, apply. Then center sphere of influence is correct. Yeah, center, specify coordinate. Yeah, and define the radius of sphere that it should have. Specify 40 or 50, whatever it is, so that only that region it will consider for meshing. And element size you specify. That will take a longer time. I think you should take one or two. You are using two cores now, so yeah. And now try to mesh it. So now whatever you are doing, these are all different local controls that anywhere you get stuck up to have a poor quality, then all these methods you have to incorporate and try to get a better quality.
Ma'am, how can I check the poor quality mesh wood that in your view it is viewing like
Okay,
this, that?
okay. So you have a graph there, right? So
Yeah,
you can see, click on that graph. Yes. So it will show you which are the acceptable quality. So zero point 0.7 to 1 range, whatever elements are coming, they are of acceptable range. And before that, whatever are coming, they are poor quality elements. So if your maximum elements are coming within that range, that means it you are ready to proceed further.
okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. Yeah, anyone else who has worked further? Okay, so let's see few more things what can be added here. Okay, so let's try.
Ma'am,
Yes.
how to see that graph, ma'am?
Okay, to see that
How to
graph,
display that?
you need to go to mesh and you have mesh matrix and change it to
Okay, ma'am.
element quality. so your graph will be visible. In case you do not find it, then you need to go to manage and keep graph toolbar check. Okay, so this will come out for you.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so let us focus on few more controls that can be carried. Let's say I have, please confirm if my screen is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let me just consider that I'm interested in knowing the results at this particular surface. Okay, so it could be any of your region where you want to get more results. Okay, so that is like near wall effect, mostly in case of CFT problems or in case of structural problems. If my interest is to get the result near this area, I'll try to have a better quality of refined mesh. Okay, so for that I will try to have a in tool that is called as insert mesh, and you have inflation tool. So basically it will create layers for that around that surface what you give as a boundary. So this complete geometry I'm selecting, and let's say I'm giving this surface as a reference around which it should create a layers, and I could say number of layers, and by default growth rate is there, but you can also give as per certain calculations whenever it is there is a change in the growth rate. Okay, and then I'll try to say to generate mesh. So basically when you're trying to apply inflation, no, you need to have a kind of refined mesh around that region. So since I have whatever I have done so far, I have suppressed it. It will allow, I should give some sizing control even after giving this control, right? So you can see here on the mesh, so a kind of layers it has created, but not a proper one because the sizing control is not existing there, right? So let me just give you a cross section view for you so that you get an idea. So basically here it should create layers throughout, it should create. Okay, here it has created one or two. So now what I'll do is I'll just try to give a sizing control for entire body to show you how this exactly works. And element size, let's say I make it as 1 mm and say to update here. I think the size is really small, but meanwhile you can try doing. Once it is getting done, I'll show you how this inflation works out. But generally around the surface you have selected, it will try to create some layers so that you are having more in detail results near that surface. Yeah, someone can share your screen and try to do. I think it's going to take a bit of time because for 1 mm for this complete is really a small size. Yeah, Rahul, please project your screen. Rahul, are you there or just typing visible?
Ma'am, in inflation, what is the transition ratio?
Sorry.
While doing in inflation, there is the option of transition ratio. What is that, sir, ma'am?
Yeah, that is by default. Right now it has got like uh, there is a transition option where how much it should consider the layers when it is trying to create, no. So there it comes up, but right when you're working with the structural and all, you don't have to consider much in case of just keep it to smooth transition, like zero point 0.5 growth rate with a growth rate of 1.2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ma'am,
Yes.
I'm sharing my screen.
Okay.
Ma'am, applied that in inflation here.
Sorry. Inflation.
At this point.
I
This,
think boundary you have given as the edge. You need
hmm,
to give basically for inflation. You can select surface and boundary. Just try to generate. You will itself get to know. Generate the mesh.
already generated, ma'am.
Okay, so you're not able to generate because it will ask you to give an complete so with geometry you need to select and you need to give a reference of a surface around which it should create the mesh. So go to inflation, click on inflation. Okay, and click on geometry. Geometry you have in the details of inflation, right? One face you have selected. Select, go with the body selection and select complete geometry. Yeah, and click on apply where you have one face. Scoping you need to change from surface to body. Yeah, apply. Okay, and now give the surface as reference. Go with surface selection. Yeah, below. That's what. Geometry selection, not name selection, and apply. Select the surface. You need to select a surface. Yeah, apply. Now you generate.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, welcome. Anyone else who is working on this one? Okay, so since you have seen all these meshing techniques and all, no, I'll suggest you that in the same location, I have shared a file called as shaft bearing. Okay, shaft bearing WBPZ file it is. I request you to open and start trying to mesh on it on your own. Wherever you get stuck up, share your screen, and in between, I'll be also calling out your names to share your screen. Please take 10 minutes of time and start working. And when I ask you to share the screen, I at least want to see something like work is going on. It's up to you that you want to play with the different methods or go with certain local control method to show me the mesh. But ultimately, I want to see everyone showing me the complete like it should get into good quality of elements. So element quality criteria I'm going to check once you work on the mesh. Aditya, yeah, are you saying?
Like using student version or the teaching your college one? Is it your college one or the student version? Aditya, are you listening? Okay, so I think it's almost we are done. 5 to 7 minutes is almost done. So I request someone at least to show what they have done till now. Anyone? Sunil, would you like to share your screen? Rishikesh, would you share the screen? Or Krishnakant? Is someone at least working? It's been 5 to 7 minutes now, waiting for your work that you have done. Yes, Krishnakant, you just have loaded the geometry here. Okay, start working on it. Let us see how you are trying to get the element quality here.
Ma'am, your voice is not hearable.
Now, is it not audible now?
No, ma'am, it is not clear.
Okay. Uh, Let me rejoin. Meanwhile, please try to work on this.
Ma'am, we do not understand what you want to say, ma'am.
Yes, Krishnakant, start working. I hope I'm audible now.
Yes, ma'am, now. You are audible.
Yeah, please start going doing the mesh. Let me show, just show me how you are, what you have understood so far. You have to
Please, ma'am,
start
wait.
with the default mesh, generate a default mesh.
Ma'am, it's hanging. Okay.
Sorry,
So, please. So, I will show you later.
you can go and generate a default mesh, then I'll help you out how to work on it.
Computer is hanging, not working now.
Okay, okay, no problem. Can someone else share the screen? Yes, Abhinandan. Okay, great that you're working. Just use all the techniques that we have used and try to work. And there was a hand raise, I believe, from someone. Okay. Finally, please show me out whoever has achieved the quality that we have discussed, that 0.7 to 1 within that range you need to get. I think we have seen enough tools that I have shown to you so far to get that quality. Yeah, once you are done, please share me your screen. I'm waiting for the response that if you have done or if you have not done, at least done or not done, you can tell me. Okay, so for people who haven't done, I'll show them how to work on that geometry. See, before I was showing you what are the different methods. So I used all the methods and showed you for how to get that methods added there, right? But since you know that we can use local controls also and try to get the quality. So we'll just go one by one and finish this one. Okay, so just look at this. First, as I told you, go and ask for sweepable bodies for this assembly. Okay, and just insert and say method. After that, change it to sweep. Very simple. Your first operation is already done here. Next, you have these two components. Okay, so these two components you can select and say mesh, insert, and some sizing control you can give. By default, it's considering 5. Let's add it as 3. Okay, then next you have these bearings, right? So these two bearings I have selected now, and go with insert and once again sizing. So here you have 5. So once again I'll go with adding towards 3 something there. And next we are left out with this bolt and nuts connectivity, right? So let's take this 4. You can use name selection procedure or you can use this procedure also. Okay, so all 4 bolt and nut connectivity are selected. So insert and sizing. Just simply give a sizing control here. Okay. And next you have small ring here. Okay. Just say hide all of the bodies. So you can see here this is really small one. Okay, so get to know what should be the element size, you can basically select the thickness, how much it is there. You can see here it is 0.56, right? So mostly if I give zero point 0.2 as an element size, that would be sufficient for me, right? So say show all bodies, right? So now I'll select this one ring, and the second side, other side ring I'll select here. Just go to mesh and say sizing. Right now, since it is 0.56 as the dimension, I need to give zero point 0.2 to at least have minimum two elements. I told you you should avoid having single elements. So that's the problem here. What you can see here, when it is meshing, it's a single element. You can see from here. Throughout the thickness, it's just single element. So that's why I'm trying to have two or more elements there. And just say to generate. Now, after doing all these things, let's check for the mesh matrix and say to show the element quality. Now, you see here, by doing just these things, we are able to get, we haven't given much of sizing control or anything. We have just given few local, just sizing control we have played, and just a method we have given. And quite in 2-3 minutes, we were able to get it done. Now, other detailings, as I told you, if you want to have the other detailings to be captured, just select all these, any of these, right click. Always use name selection based on size. Wherever it is there, it will select under that criteria. In you can see it has selected all 12 faces. So where are those faces it has selected, based on the dimensions? You can see all this, right? So few time surfaces types it has considered here also. So if you don't want, you can remove them or you can keep it, and just go with some kind of refinement that would be sufficient here. Say name selection, under that add selection and give to have a proper update of mesh. Okay, so now I think you are having quite good kind of mesh here, right? So same thing you can do it in, let share me a screen once you are able to achieve this quality. This is very simple if you have understood from starting till now. So I believe by now you should be able to show me how to work on that geometry to mesh. So I have taken through 2D, 3D and all kind of geometries with possible mesh methods you can use, and you can get it. And further, any other advanced things you want to know, just let me know over the mail. I'll try to help you out on whichever problem you're working. Yeah, there's a feedback link in the chat box. So whatever is your valuable feedback, please share me over there. I'll always have a look into that and improve myself. Please do give your feedback, and also please share me your screen so that I can have a look that at least a few of you all are working on it. Yes, anyone who has done, please show me.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes,
I have done little bit.
yeah, please show me. Yeah, okay. Good to see that at least some of them are doing.
Yes, ma'am.
For all your reference, I'll share you out few tutorials in future whenever you want to refer those, like whatever you have done so far, those only, but it will have some step by step procedure. In case you land up using after for 1 month 2 months, then you will have to refer those, right? So that's why I'll just share you the tutorials, and these geometry files are already with you. Just use them and try to work, and I believe from tomorrow there's an other speaker going to address you all. So that is the files from there you will be getting separately. So till here, designing or meshing anything, any question till now, if you have, just let me know, I'll try to help you out. And this is my mail ID from where you can reach me out. Yeah, it's there in the chat. Any doubt working on any sort of problem, and any guidance you need for the working, just let me know. I'll try to help you out in the best way. And yeah, and tutorials I'll be adding shortly in the same folder for your mesh and related to your space claim. Gulab sir, are you here? Gulab sir, are you here? Can someone ping Gulab sir? I don't have his contact details.
Okay, ma'am. I call them.
Yeah. Sorry, sir. I think I'm not able to hear you. And if any questions are there, I'm here to answer it. And um, I think like we are done for the session today. Uh, you can just Gulab, so you can let me know if we can wind up for the day.
Yeah, hello ma'am. Can you hear me right now?
Yes, Naresh, I can hear you.
Yeah, this is Gulab only.
Okay.
Uh, okay, ma'am. Uh, we are done for today, right?
Yes, we are done.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am, for today's session. Actually, today's session was wonderful, and I hope student participant would have enjoyed doing the work at the same time. Uh, so, but some there would be some other instructor for from tomorrow, right? As I was hearing
Yes,
you. And
yes. Actually,
who
I'm engaged
can?
with other works. I was only here
Okay,
for weekend. So,
okay. And the name of the resource person would be?
Sneha Mokal. I think Tushar would coordinate you
Yeah.
for the same.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. Then thank you for your time and all the learnings that you have provided to the participants. And we'll be closing the session for today then.
Yeah. Thanks.
Participants will be joining tomorrow again at the same time. Okay. Thank you all. Yep.
Yeah. Thank you, students, and thank you, sir, for the coordination.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
ma'am.
Thank